What's up everyone? So in last video we covered numbers and typecasting, and in today's video we're going to talk more about strings, so let's get into it. Okay, so I'm going to create some string variables and then we'll talk about some concepts. Okay, so what is a string index? So a string is an array of characters, meaning we can get the value at any valid index. So I've drawn a picture of what that kind of looks like. So basically the first character is always index 0. And anything following that is just the index. So like E is index 1, the first L is index 2, the second L is index 3, and then the O is index 4. But basically indices always start at 0. And we can use the square brackets to get the value at any index. So let's just say that we wanted to get the A in Harrison. Then I would type name at index, and we're going to use the square brackets to specify what index. And then we pass in the number. So remember, indices start at 0, so if we want the A, then the A would be index 0, index 1. So the A is at index 1, so if we print name at index 1, then we should get a lowercase a. So let's see if that works. And as you can see, we get the lowercase a, which is the first indice of name. One more thing to note is that -1 will always be the last element. So -1 for name will be the n. So just to show you all, see, we get the n. So what if instead of just getting one character, what if we want like a range of characters? So to do that, we use the slice syntax. So for example, what if I wanted just the Harris, just Haris? That used to be my nickname. So what if we wanted just that portion of this text? Then we can use string slicing to do that. So let me just show you what that would look like. So we'll just print that out. So print name, and we're going to use the square brackets again, but we have to specify the start and the end. So we're going to start at index 0. So we're going to start from here, and then we use the colon, and then the second number is going to be where we want to stop, and it's not inclusive. So if we want the S, if we want H through S, then that would be indices 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it's going to be up until but not including 6. So name at index 0 through 6 should return Harris. So let's see if that works. As you can see, we get just the Harris part. And remember how negative indices also worked? Remember -1 got us the last character, which means that -2 would be the O, -3 would be the S, -4 would be the I. So let's just say that we wanted the SON part, so like just the SON, then that would be indices -1, -2, -3. So indices -3 up until the end. So that would look something like this: -3 up until the end. And since it's the end, we don't have to pass in anything. Like it's, if we don't specify anything, it's just going to go till the end. So let's demonstrate that. So you see, we get the SON part. That's just an introduction to string slicing, and it's helpful if we want to get like a range of characters from a string. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is the len function, and this is a built-in Python function. And if we want to, we use it when we want to know the length of a string. So just to demonstrate, if we want to know how many characters are in this string, or in any string, we can use the length function. So I'll just print that out just so you can see. So if we print the length, or it's the len, and then in parentheses, and then inside the parentheses we pass in the string that we want to evaluate. So if we want the number of characters in Harrison, then we can just pass in the length, or len, of name. And now let's run our code. So you see there's 8 characters in my name. So the length function is helpful when you want to know how many characters are in the string. So sometimes we want to modify a string, and there's a lot of things we can do. For example, if we wanted my name to be all uppercase, then Python has some built-in functions. These are called methods, and we can use them on strings. So for example, if I want the uppercase version of my name, then I can print name dot upper, and then if we print, you see it's my name, but it's in all uppercase. And this also works with like lower, so this will give my name in all lowercase. And there's a bunch of other methods for specific to strings. I'll show just a few more, but there's a list on W3 Schools, and I'll post a link to that later on. Okay, so what if we want to replace a character in a string? So for example, what if instead of Harrison we wanted something like Garrison? So in that case we can use the replace method. So I'd call name dot replace, and then inside the parentheses I have to specify what I actually want to replace. So we want to replace the H, and then the second argument is going to be the thing we want to replace it with. And so if we want Garrison, then it would be G. So the replace method will replace all uppercase H's with all uppercase G's. So just to demonstrate, see, we get Garrison. Okay, another method that I like is the split method. So for example, what if we wanted to split the name, or my name, at the comma? So we basically want two strings. We want Harrison and Cretal. So we can use the split method to basically split this one string into multiple strings. So we have to, so let me just show you what that looks like. So first we call name dot split, and then inside the parentheses we pass in the character, we specify the character that we want to split it at. So in this case it's a comma, and then let me show you what that looks like. We get this list of strings, and it's basically each string is where it kind of split at. So the first string is Harrison and the second string is Cretal, because those are the two strings that will come out of splitting at the comma. So there are a lot of methods that are specific to strings, and if you come over to this page on W3 Schools, they give you a list of all the string methods that you can use. Methods make it easier because you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can just use the method that's already there instead of having to write your own code to accomplish the same goal. So the next thing I want to talk about is string concatenation. And string concatenation is used when you want to combine multiple strings, and you can use the addition operator to do this. So let's just create a new variable called C, and we'll set it equal to A plus B. And now if we print C, we're going to get hello concatenated with world. So see, it's all one word. So if we want like a space in between, then we'd have to add another string in between these two. That's just a space. So you see we've just added a space in between, and now if we rerun it, now we get hello space world. So string concatenation is awesome when you want to combine multiple strings into one. So format is another string method. So let me just demonstrate that. So I'll set C equal to to a string, but if we want hello space world, then we're gonna have two brackets and then a space in between, and then at the end of the string we call dot format, and then in parentheses we pass in what we want to basically fill in to the brackets. So if we pass in A and B, then it's gonna fill in the first bracket with the first argument, which is A, and then the second bracket, which is B. And there's a space in between, so we're going to basically get the same output as we got down here in the string concatenation, but this is a better way to do things. Oh, and let's print C. You see we get hello world, just as we did up here. And you can also add like other text in this string, so like hello world, today is a good day. And if we run it, then you see it basically formats the text to how we specified. So when we declare a string, we denote it with quotation marks. So sometimes this can be a problem, because what if our string needs to have quotation marks inside of it? For example, like what if we said like the book title is, and then you know how sometimes book titles are usually in like quotation marks. So this will confuse Python because there's multiple quotation marks, so it's not really going to know like where the string starts or ends. So we can use escape characters, or kind of the backslash character, to kind of denote that. So for example, like if we want the quotation marks in our string, we can use the escape character just before the quotation inside the string. So now Python will know where to stop and start the string, since we added the backslash character just before the quotation marks. So now this entire thing is going to be our string. Just to show you all, if we print C, and you see we get the book title is, and then we get quotation marks in our string. So escape characters are helpful when if we're using like illegal characters. So that's about it for this video. I'd recommend you all try some of these exercises, and feel free to leave any questions in the comments below. I'm happy to answer them, and stay tuned for next time. I'll see you all later. Peace.